And then lastly, in staffing, it's already that time. In the next few weeks, we'll start to get an email out to returning staff for next summer. And then in February, we'll start to accept new applications for summer employment, or summer of 11. The next page is the updated site plan. So if everybody can put their head around how this is looking from an aerial view, you can see the kind of clouded area is the bike park area, a proposed bike park area. And in there, I'm sorry, it's really small, but they've labeled basically what you see. Actually, Kahlil, why don't you want to run through this?
Yeah, I can run through it real quick.
Yeah, is that up and
No.
out?
There's a legend within here that kind of gives you an idea of what each little acronym stands for, but if you want, I could just read it off real quick. You can see there's, we drew in the current walking path that's in that area. Coming from, there's basically an entrance on either side of the skate park, comes around, connects, and then goes out towards the tracks. We intend on leaving that intact as a walking path, multi-use area. Then if you look, not sure the direction, anyway, towards the pavilion, there's a little kind of circular object with P1. That's pump track is a feature that beginner to expert friendly. We want to do 2 pump tracks, one for very entry level smaller kids to use, and then P2 is a larger pump track that anyone could use, but will have features for more advanced riders to enjoy as well. Then as you look to the left of that, there are some lines that will go down through the woods. We're planning on leaving the trees intact. We have to take out some underbrush. Any dead large trees will come out. But these features are going to be built within the trees. So the fact that they'll be there is going to make it a really unique park, as well as maintain the wooded nature of it. There's 5 lines drawn in here. And what those represent are series of jumps in a row. So you're starting up on, there's a natural plateau there where the pump tracks and the top of that trail are. And then where that line is drawn, the straight line kind of represents there's a natural fall away there. And that'll provide a run-in for the jump lines. And so you essentially, you ride down, you hit the jumps, and then down at the very end at the tapered areas where you turn around and walk your bike back. So you'll be walking up that path with your bike. So there won't be any high-speed riding down the bike path, down that path. It'll be just walking your way back up to the top of the hill. So.
If they're going to be using that path on the way back up, do you plan on improving that section of the path right there as far as making it more friendly for you guys to use going up to the walk through?
Yeah, I think we can, we're looking at improving that from a sustainability standpoint too, because it's kind of a path that was just beaten into the woods.
Yeah.
And so while we're in there working, we have the opportunity to smooth it out, improve the stairs that are back there, things like that.
Okay.
So I think we'll do that. We'll do some grading and define the edges and stuff pretty well, because right now it kind of rolls off the side of the hill.
Yeah.
So there's a number of things we can do that are right in line with the kind of construction we'll be doing back there. So there's also, too, I want to mention, there's a couple circles in here, one by the larger pump track called S1, and then down next to the walking path called S2. And those are just, we want to put in like a picnic table or a bench for sitting areas, because it'll provide an opportunity for any parents who want to watch their kids ride, things like that, riders who just want to take a rest. And the one up by the pump track is kind of out in a clearing already. The one down in the woods, there's actually kind of a natural plateau that kind of comes out from the trail. So it's really just going to be installing a bench or a table right there. And it's going to be a really nice spot, actually, I think, to sit and hang out. So.
Kahlil, what's this squiggly line on the outside? Is that a different type of ride? Jump?
Excuse me. If you look at the different lines, L1, L2, L3, 4, and 5, L1 is going to be a beginner, like absolute introductory jump line. L2 will be a beginner / intermediate. And they get more advanced as
Okay.
you go towards. So the longer outer one with more turns and things
Is
will
a
be
higher level.
the high-level advanced
Okay.
one. So the way or the way we're proposing is that the slower, smaller features are close to the walking path, or they have a buffer, but they're closest to the walking path, thinking that parents want to hang out, watch their little kids ride, they can sit on the
Oh,
bench, they can be
smart.
close by. And also you're removing the higher jumps, the faster riders towards the field edge where you don't have walkers coming by. So if someone crashes on a big jump, the bike might go farther. If the little jumps, it's not going to be a big deal because you've got approximately a 15-foot buffer to the walking path that's going to remain. You can see these three large circles represent, there's three distinct large trees there that we're kind of using. We're building on the field side of those trees, and that's what those represent. There's also going to be some smaller brush and whatever we want to leave in that zone. But those are just kind of the three big landmarks for us to stay on this side of.
Thank you.
Good?
Okay, great.
Any questions?
Yeah. Anybody in the audience have a question about the bike? New bike, okay?
We do have our next meeting is on next Thursday, the 16th.
Yeah.
So I'm posting those on the EJRP, the facilities feedback area. There's a bike park suggestion, and I'm trying to post each meeting date with a quick agenda in there. So if down the road, we meet every 2 to 4 weeks, trying to keep it a little tighter this time because we have a lot going on. But those meetings will be posted there. So
At EJRP at 6:30? What time?
it's at 7 o'clock this time. Actually, we had to do it a little later. So try and do them Thursdays at 6:30 or 7 in
Okay.
the EJRP office. So.
Okay.
Thanks, Kahlil.
Thank you.
Anything else? No, okay. So now we move on to the recreation survey. I guess I'll run through briefly what the scenario has been here. As a result of a petition submitted to the trustees and to the Prudential Committee, asking for a change of governance from CCSU to the municipality, the Village of Essex Junction. The Rec Advisory Council put a survey online that anyone with internet had access to. I actually did get 2 phone calls from people who did not, who wanted to fill out the survey, so I did that on paper. The survey stayed up from September till November 9th. And we also, on the website, have posted all of the meetings that pertain to both Prudential Committee meetings and village trustee meetings that pertain to recreation. We had counterpoints to the petition points and the signers were online. We counterpointed the petition. We wrote and answered questions that we thought were pertinent to this governance issue. And closed the survey down on the 9th of November, although all the other information is there. As a result of the survey, we then got back together and as a result of comments and questions that people had asked, the community had asked us, we wrote questions for 4 entities: CCSU, EJRP, the petitioners. That was something we did not expect to do, but we realized that there were so many questions that people were asking about why and why now, that we posed those questions to the petitioners, and we had a long list of questions for the village. Because for us, at least here at this table, we know how rec is run now by the Prudential Committee and CCSU. We don't know how it would be run by the village, so those were questions we wanted to have answered. We don't have those answers tonight from the village or from the petitioners. We do have them from EJRP and CCSU. As a part of this process, we asked Dave Neal to come and talk with us. He's a former rec director, and we've asked him to come and talk to us.